Hello, friends. That's what I got out of 1978 in the dorm room with Jimmy. He used that line then, and he's still using it. But I do have a lot of friends out here tonight. It's been a remarkable weekend, and I'll get to them a little later. But there's a big question. How did I get here? From Seattle, Washington. I caddied for a friend of my brother's, Steve Dallas, and by caddying for him, he gave me a set of clubs. And when I say caddy, let me rephrase that. I pushed his, as Monty would say, I pushed his trolley. I didn't carry his clubs. I was 9 years old. I didn't even know what I was doing. We were baseball people. My brother was a baseball player. My father was a baseball player. And at 9, I didn't know what I was going to be, but I knew it wasn't a caddy. But he did give me, I must say, a plastic. Well, there was a little canvas bag. I'm sure I'm not the only one in the world that got one of these from some supermarket, but it was a plastic driver, a 5, 7, and 9, and a putter. And I fell in love with the game. I went up to Jefferson Park and played every day. And then at the age of 14, I was lucky enough to get involved, to be able to go to a clinic at a course up in Seattle that an unbelievable PGA Tour player was playing at, or doing the clinic, and I got up front and I was staring at him, and after a couple hours when I went back, I wasn't really the person who said, that's what I want to do, I'm going to be a PGA Tour player, but I knew I wanted to really, really get involved in golf. And the gentleman's name was Lee Trevino, who has been a mentor and someone I love. But getting... And then while on tour, I have had several great things happen, and I'll go back to after 5 years later, when I mentioned Lee Trevino, I qualified in Seattle for the U.S. Open at Inverary in Ohio, and I made the cut as an 18-year-old, and I was paired Saturday with Lee Trevino. And probably wouldn't cry on the tee, but is as nervous there as I was right now. And so we get to the tee, and it's a hell of a hole. It's no 3-wood, but I knew I couldn't tee my ball up, so I just grabbed the ball, I dropped it on the tee, and I didn't even tee it up because I knew I would be too nervous to even do it. So that's how I think when I got on tour that Lee Trevino always calls me, cupcakes, cupcakes, what the hell are you doing? And he is... he's a Hall of Famer, but he's an unbelievable, real buddy of mine, even though he's much older, much better, much everything. But so I asked Tom Watson a long time ago, on an off week, can I go stay with you at your house and learn a little bit? He says, sure, come on. So sure enough, I fly into Kansas City. I'm thinking, we're going to hit balls for 5 hours a day for 5 days. I'm going to ask him, how he makes all these putts. First day, we made bullets for rifles. The second day we fished, which I don't even know how to fish. The third day we shot skeet. I never hit a clay pigeon, nor a bird, nor a rabbit, or anything. And so the last day, we're in his garage, and I didn't really need to pack my bag because I never unpacked my clubs, but I found a 3-wood, which was a lady's driver in his garage. And I'm looking at this thing, and I said, can I take this? He goes, yeah, it's Linda's, go ahead and have it. And it's not bad, that's not a bad thing, but I took this thing, and I played in a lot of President's Cups with it. I played in a lot of Ryder Cups with it, and in about an hour, or whenever I finish this, you will see it in my trophy case next door. It's the 3-wood that I used for several years, which was like a mini driver, but that maybe was better than getting 5 hours of practice that I got this driver, which I used for a 3-wood. And then to finish, just to thank the Hall of Fame for all they've done for Monty, myself, Mr. Schofield, Willie Park, who I don't know, but you did a lot for him, and Mr. Venturi, who we're all going to talk about him tonight, but one of the lucky things you get to do is when you know a guy like Jim Nance, you get to do things, and I went to several dinners at golf tournaments with the CBS staff, and Kenny Venturi was there for 10 years of it. I got to go, and I miss him a lot, but I know Jimmy knew something was going on when he would get me these dinners and the stories, and Davis Love was part of these too, and the stories that Kenny would tell. You'd wake up the next day, this would be on a Friday or Saturday, and you'd just be so jacked up to play golf tournaments, and Kenny called, CBS actually called a lot of my wins, and Jimmy Nance was part of them. So I want to thank CBS, Jimmy Nance, Kim Venturi for all the support you've ever given me. And then I'm going to finish with this. I'm going to read it because I was told to finish with a bang. So I want to say, I should know this because it's not really that long, but thanks for taking a kid from Seattle and putting him into the Hall of Fame. This is the coolest night of my life.